2 days after the Dallas County Commissioners abruptly fired the county health director, we just received a much more detailed account of the allegations against Zach Thompson. The complaints come from an unnamed employee who worked for the longtime health director. The law firm representing that employee describes it this way. Our client has alleged a pattern and practice of sexual abuse, harassment, intimidation, and retaliation by Mr. Thompson. After receiving the allegations, the Dallas County officials failed to take adequate steps to rectify the situation. We now know from the county judge that the complaint was first filed with Human Resources in early December. Clay Jenkins says he first found out about it on December 22nd and moved forward with it from there. Fox 4's James Rose at Commissioner's Court with more on this new information. James.
Right. We are also told as a result of that, Judge Clay Jenkins says he never knew about this until the 22nd of December, and on the 2nd of January, this entire Commissioner's Court heard the allegations against Mr. Thompson, and they also asked him to comment. In fact, they said, can you cooperate and specifically deny these allegations? And he did not cooperate or respond to a text message. So that later that same day, when he did not respond, they said, you're hereby notified that you're terminated as of January 3rd. So we now know a little more about how all this came about. So earlier today, we talked to someone familiar with Dallas County employment law about the firing process.
But when you get to the department head level in government, you serve at the whim of the Commissioner's Court.
Dallas Attorney Pete Schulte is not involved in the Zach Thompson case, but says a county department head, like health director, can be fired for any reason.
He's not an elected official, he's a department head, but he doesn't have any rights for grievances, for being terminated, doesn't have any rights to contest that he's terminated. He really serves at the will of the Commissioner's Court.
Thompson has been with the health department since 1996 and head of it since 2003. He made national headlines during the 2012 West Nile outbreak and in 2014 during the Dallas Ebola scare. The DA's office says there are no criminal complaints against Thompson. Thompson's salary was in the range of $200,000 a year. But despite his termination, Pete Schulte says it's not likely Thompson will lose his county retirement.
Based on what we know, based on the allegations, he will not lose his retirement because he's vested. He's been paying into the retirement plan of the County of Dallas, and right now he has not been convicted of a felony or a misdemeanor that's a crime of moral turpitude.
Now, Thompson has been on comp time since last month and had planned to be on his comp time until his retirement became effective at the end of this month. But again, we now know as of January 3rd, he was officially receiving word from the county commissioners here that he had been effectively terminated. Steve?
James, I want to walk through a couple of things, and I know we're both just getting this information, so I understand that if you don't know some of this stuff. But it's my understanding, based on what you said from the county, that he didn't respond to a text, and so they told him he was fired. But now we're hearing that the county manager says that he actually had some conversations about Zach Thompson about this investigation. Do those both jive with what you're hearing?
Well, you know what all I know is what I'm reading right now. It's the first time we're hearing from county commissioners, and Judge Clay Jenkins says the first time he was made aware of this is when he got a letter on the 22nd of December, and we do know that this initial complaint went to the Human Resources Department with the county in early December. And then we know the first time they took any real action and heard some of these allegations, and they described them as very detailed and accurate. And so we know that on the 2nd of January, the commissioners discussed this, and when they tried to get input from Thompson, according to their letter, they say he was not cooperating. And that's why the following day they said, you're hereby terminated.
Okay, let me ask you one other question. Do you, at this point, in conversations with the people you've talked to, know if this accuser, who is unnamed, has she and her attorney filed anything against Dallas County? Because some of the wording from the attorney leaves it open like the county has failed and didn't take adequate steps to rectify the situations. That sounds like legalese for maybe opening the door to a lawsuit. Has that happened to this point?
You know, and the people I've talked to today say, you know, this is probably why they took swift and immediate action once the entire court got word of this. And that makes sense to everyone I was talking to, is that if he refused to refute those allegations, they had to take action so that it wouldn't look like they had not taken any swift and immediate action in a serious case like this. Because in this very letter they say, you know, this is a violation of Dallas County policy. All employees are required to cooperate with investigations, and you know, it goes on to say that all employees of the county are entitled to a workplace free of unlawful harassment. So now we know a little bit more about the backstory that we did not previously know in great detail, Steve.